All right, guys, good morning. Welcome to our morning note. It is Friday, August 7th, 2020. Welcome aboard, everybody. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and talk market, shall we? It is Dow futures are down 71, NASDAQ futures down 41, 11, 12, 19. S&P futures down about 0.34%, 33.32. Russell 2000 index down about 4. Crude oil futures down about 0.24. Bitcoin futures down about 1%. Gold futures are bouncing back off overnight lows. It's green about 1.15% at 2072 an ounce. 2873 an ounce for silver futures up about 1.2%. Euro dollar for my Forex people down 45 pips, 118.32, and dollar yen 105.57, basically flat but green. And the dollar index is at 93.07, up about 28 cents at 0.31%. It was up as high as 1% today. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Morning note time. Hope everyone's having a really great day. Let's go ahead and kind of digest these non-farm payroll numbers. This happens every first Friday of the month. This is the first Friday of August. So here we are. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Let me go ahead and bring it up here. Let's see. I'm going to go to Twitter and TweetDeck. I'll get the full number here. All right. Let me get the correct number. Okay. U.S. unemployment rate drops to 10.2% in July from 11.1% in June. U.S. jobs rise 1.763 million versus 1.48 million expected. Unemployment rate fell 10.2%, also better than estimates. Average hourly earnings up 0.2%, estimated negative 0.5%. The previous was negative 0.13%. Average hourly earnings year over year beat July 4.8% versus the estimate of 4.2%. So reading these numbers and kind of looking it over here, it's pretty solid. Again, pretty solid here. The numbers are showing an improvement, not as accelerated as the last month, but again, still very solid. Upward revisions, not much to say there. The market is kind of digesting this information. We're off the lows, yes, overnight lows. But again, the president did say we're going to have a really good jobs number, I believe, on Tuesday. So it kind of wasn't a surprise. But again, still great. It's still good news for the economy here, as we are technically in a recession with two declining quarters of GDP. You wouldn't know it if looking at the stock market, right? So right now, looking at the whole macro sense, again, the stock market is doing well, but we've talked about that. That's disconnected from Wall Street to Main Street. It's disconnected. As you know, E-mini futures or S&P 500 is nearing all-time highs of 33.97. We are now on E-mini futures at 33.32. So we're about 60, 65 handles away from new all-time highs. I've been saying we're going to get there by this year, and I think we will. So I'm still bullish in the market. What I'm expecting to happen when we do is that we'll go ahead and tap 33.97. We'll pull back a little bit and consolidate there until the election, basically. We're just going to kind of hover and see. We usually get those when it comes to big Fibonacci levels, big top levels, or big levels to break. Maybe double tops here and there. I think we got that around 3,100 and the 3,000 level for a little bit. We'll like double top and we'll kind of just kind of sideways action. So it's August, back to school, even though kids may not be in physical school, but things are getting a little changing back into a routine. So I do expect volumes to kind of pick up slightly. The volumes in SPY have been relatively low to other months. August has been relatively a weaker month in the S&P. So again, these kind of moves in the market, you're seeing seasonality come in a little bit. The fall is when we start to pick up a little more. September, October, November. Then December will kind of taper off. So kind of understand when you're a trader, you have to kind of look at the macro sense of when things move. So again, kind of think of it as August. You had a big move already, huge move in the market. Expect a little bit of a chop, a little bit of a range once we tap that 33.97. So again, it could be a little slow. If I were you as a trader, I would take a look and start maybe pulling back a little bit of risk. Not saying sell stock, I wouldn't, but I'm saying if you're trading, don't go all in, obviously, but kind of slow down. That's what me and the team have been doing. We're looking at maybe slowing down, pumping the brakes a little bit. Again, we've had a really big run up. We really don't have many catalysts left The only thing that we really have to look forward to now is the stimulus package. Is it going to get passed? If it does pass, the dollar will sink more. That's why I have been very bullish on the metals, GLD and SLV, because as the dollar sinks, those two commodities rise. So again, I've been very, very keen on SLV and GLD. I've been playing it for past weeks now, and it's worked out for us. And I think we still have a little more upside on SLV. I still think we have a lot more upside on GLD as we still break all-time highs or gold and silver. So again, those are your catalyst plays for any kind of more spending from Washington, any more stimulus out of Washington. And again, the markets are kind of still indicating that we still have a little more pain to go, not according to asset prices like stocks, but economy-wise, the 10-year bond yield is still near all-time lows. Good news if you have a mortgage and you want to refinance, that's great since it's pegged to that. But again, you still have, that kind of a chop way action. So I wouldn't want you to get full in or go crazy on a Monday or today. Again, stick to the plan. I would kind of pull back some chips here. We've had a really great couple of months, really great couple of weeks for sure. So again, as a trader, you kind of want to step back a little bit and start seeing where things are moving. And chop action sucks. So again, it could happen. What I have open personally, I got some IWM open. I got with the team. We have some SLV. We got back in. Obviously, we're still holding some GLD from the weekly, excuse me, the live trading session. If you guys traded SLV with me, you made profits. Congratulations. I'm still holding those GLDs and I'm still rocking with them. So again, good stuff. Just kind of want to give you that macro view of where we are. Remember, the election is literally less than 90 days away. That's a big catalyst. I can make a podcast on the breakdown of what we expect. I could do that. So that's not a problem. As we get close to the election and we get some debates in and we start seeing some final poll numbers around October, I'll do a podcast on it and start going over, both ways in a kind of very neutral political sense of what to expect from the market. And either one, if President Trump retains his chair as his president or President Biden wins. Again, I'll go ahead and give a little more historical perspective into it. I'll make a podcast on it. I just don't know when, but maybe soon. Maybe you guys will want to listen to that podcast a little more of the elections. But I would want to get closer to the actual election day, not now, because anything could change. So that's what I'm saying. But looking at the market today, again, I still am bullish on the market. I still think 33.97 is on track. Again, solid unemployment report. Kind of dipping here, 33.29. I want to see that price action. I want to see if that 50-day moving average still holds as we have been holding on E-mini futures. 33.07 is your 100-day moving average. That will be your secondary, and then your support is around 32.72. I would say your major support to start buying more stocks if you're buying on the dip is right around 32.50, 32.30. That's kind of your level here. But another 100 handles down if we get that. I highly doubt it. But if you wanted to start nibbling on more stocks, add your positions here and there around 3,300 on the S&P or 3,280, I think that's totally fine. That's something that I would do personally. I have not added to anything lately, but again, I've just been watching the portfolio grow with the team. So really trading our options and everything like that. So just wanted to talk about that. That's kind of my little rant for this morning, kind of going over NFP, going over the macroeconomic sense and what's moving. But again, I'm still bullish on the metals. I'm still bullish the stock market. I mean, bond yields are low. There's a lot of cash infusion out there. Dollar is still getting relatively weaker. It's up slightly today. So again, that's where I'm looking at here for the market. All right, let's answer some questions here. Good morning. Good morning. Harris has asked me four horsemen stocks. So everyone, I love that you said that, the four horsemen, my four horsemen and everyone that I talk about. It's simple. It's Apple, it's Amazon, it's Microsoft, it's UNH, which is United Healthcare. Those are my four horsemen. Those are the four stocks I would never sell. Those are the fortress ones, and you want to keep those bad boys. Do you recommend buying more SLV after this pullback? I mean, it's not much of a pullback. We're down 30 cents on it, and I wouldn't want to add to a lower price. You only want to add to the upside, not to the downside. I don't like averaging down. I like averaging up, but not averaging down. But I'm still bullish on SLV. Yes. Any long-term dividend stocks? Tons, tons. If you still want to get into dividend stocks, AT&T, Verizon are my two favorite. Altria just increased their dividend, which is MO. That's a good one. UNH, I like them too. Cisco is great. Nvidia has a dividend, but they give you growth too. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Morning thoughts on AG following SLV. following this mini pullback. Mini pullback. I mean, yeah, I mean, we had a pullback overnight. We hit 2788. I don't know what AG is, if that's a minor. There's another one, I believe it's called SAA. I haven't seen that. Let me see the gold, silver miner. Silver miner stock. I have to look it up. Silver miner stock, I believe it's, shoot, I thought I had it here. God, I think it's SAAV. I think, oh no, PAAS. That's the one I've been seeing, but I don't really look for the miners. I just stick with the ETF of silver, but I don't know anything about AG. Griffin asks, Carlos, your company's customer service is unmatchable. Nick B is on top of his job representing your company well as a customer. Appreciate having my team. Oh, thank you, man. Nick is great. Really do appreciate that. Are you still in SLV GLD Gold October 28th, August 28th? If so, what's your thought holding up to next week? Still have gold, of course, holding that thing when we had the live. The SLV, we closed that yesterday. I said that on Instagram and I said that on Twitter. I went ahead and got back in because I'm still long term on it. I still love it. What's the entry point at GLD and silver? Now, I'm still bullish on it. Now, why SPY G? SPY G, the ticker price is cheaper. It's cheaper. So just keep in mind it's SPY, right? And SPY G is focused more on the tech sector. So you could probably say to yourself, oh, well, then Carlos just buy Qs. Well, Qs is more expensive than SPY G. SPY G is at, I have to go ahead and bring this up here. SPY G is at $49, where the SPY is at $334. Again, I just prefer SPY G. Their biggest holdings in the stock, in the actual ETF, and not only that, but the expense ratio is very low and compared to anything else, 0.04%, and yet gives you a better rate of return. So again, SPY-G alone this year, I believe, is up 17.8% year to date. The biggest holdings in it, here's the biggest holding in SPY-G. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Visa, MasterCard, NVIDIA, PayPal. I mean, is there anything I need to say more than that? Low expense ratio. I get access to the big companies that I already own anyways for a cheaper price. I get it bundled. I'll take that to the bank every day. Thoughts on AMD? Love AMD long term. Love it long term. Is Apple and FB run up done? Time to put? No. Looking forward to that podcast. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Theo, yep, I'll definitely do that podcast. How's Apple looking for today as far as charts go? Apple, there was some talk about banning the WeChat app. Again, you're going to get any kind of pullbacks, guys, are an opportunity to maybe buy some more shares. It's not going to go straight up, but again, Apple is nice. I just wouldn't buy calls here, especially on a Friday. What level do you think he has to start adding stocks? I just said that around 3,300 to 3,280 would be nice if you get the break of the 100-day moving average. There's a monthly signal premium group at the beginning of each month, renews 30 days rolling. It renews 30 days rolling, guys. What GLD calls you're in? I'm in the 200 calls for August 28th. Do you think Las Vegas casinos will break out? Too risky? Too risky until we start opening up. Again, if you have a long-term view on things, I think gambling is a vice that'll always be around. So I like win long-term. It's just if you're trying to flip it, I would not. More Apple coming. What do you think about Twilio's pullback? Everyone asked me about Twilio. I don't own it, but again, if you like the stock and you want to buy some, this could be the dip for you. It's below the 200-day. If you want to actually add some more, 240. I think Twilio is basically just profit taking on here. I mean, look at the run up it's had. Bottom right hand corner from March lows of 68 to 260. That's pretty insane. So again, nice healthy pullback is what you're getting here, guys. It doesn't go straight up. IWM should go green after the news AM. Right now, it's treading water. It's at 30 cents. I have IWM for next week. I'm not really worried about it. I still think it's going to break out. I still think we get it. So that's where I'm at in regards to IWM. I think IWM is going to be fine. I think the market's just digesting these NFP numbers. Let's see what we get currently on that. But yeah, that's probably be my next podcast subject would be the presidential election and what's impact on the economics. I'll go over what each candidate kind of stands on economically. I'll try not to get too political on it. Just a heads up, I'm a pretty liberal guy. I'm basically probably the only liberal on my staff and my team, which is fun. I'm surrounded by Republicans. My family's very conservative too, so I pretty much stand out. Not to get too political, but it's just the reality. Um, If you ask me who I'm voting for, I mean, you're gonna hate me either way, love me or hate me. I'm gonna vote Biden either way. That's just me. Again, everyone's different. You're free to vote for whoever you want. And this is not an endorsement to say choose what I want. And I think the democratic process works. Whatever you want to vote for is fine. But I'm going to go in it as a neutral entity. Just think of it as somebody who I'm going to go in as someone that's looking at the market. Forget social stuff, forget anything else. I'm going to talk about taxes. I'm going to talk about business environment. I'm going to talk about what they do impacting the markets and the economy. That's it. There's nothing else I'm going to talk about in regards to comparing and contrasting the candidates, the president and Vice President Biden, kind of seeing what would happen if. That's what I'm gonna do. Scenarios. I'm gonna do bullish scenarios. I'm gonna do bearish scenarios. I'm gonna talk about what to expect, how this election correlates to other elections, the polls. I'm gonna go over just all that stuff. So if you expect me to go over a political rant, I'm not going to. If you think I'm gonna slam President Trump, I'm not going to. If you think I'm just gonna praise Vice President Biden, I'm not going to. I'm gonna come in there from a perspective of neutrality to give you just information and what to expect from each side or what could happen on an economic front, and I'll let you make your own decision. I'm going to be a neutral entity when I make this podcast. I know it's going to be a lot, it's going to be a very, very sensitive subject to a lot of people because everyone's very politicized, and I get it. But again, it's just for explanation only. Okay, let's see. Entry point to buy Amazon. Amazon is a stock that's on the move, obviously, to the upside. I would say you could buy some now. Amazon's great. Tesla, what's your entry on the IWM call? My entry number, it was the signal side. It's on the signal. I wouldn't call today's silver movement a pullback. Take into account how much has been run this week. Be happy to buy more. Yeah, well said, Matt. Well said. Level to buy Tesla. Oh, Tesla. I have not added since we were at 992. Right now it is compressing. If we could get some more upside, we could get some more downside. My level is around 1200, and I'll add some more. MAGA, no. Pietro is a Republican. Again, I am surrounded by Republican guys. What can I do? And I understand Wall Street guys and traders tend to be Republican. Totally fine. AMD calls above 87. AMD 87 would be that mark. I have a level at 8708. Should be a nice level to break. Good morning. Do you think SLV will match its all-time high in the near future? Yes, it will. I choose Elon. Read an article that Biden wants to get rid of the stock market. Basically, I don't know what article you got that from, but okay. Oh God, this is gonna be fun. Well, LMND hit 70. No idea what that is. What are your thoughts on AMD? AMD looks very nice to the upside. I think a break of 87 would be a nice play. I say okay to get to IBM today. That's really up to you. We're already in it. Guys, keep in mind, I'm not going to tell you what to get into. That's really up to you. That's really up to you. So again, I can tell you what I have open. I have IWM, I have silver, I have gold, I have some Microsoft calls, I have some AMD calls, and that's it. That's what I have open. Thoughts on Diz? Diz was interesting. There was I think it was First Point or something like that. First Point hedge fund, I believe. They bought a stake in Disney, and you can see continue to the upside. I own the stock too. I have not added to it. I think if we retrace back to 125, $5 pullback, which is definitely could happen, I would definitely add some more Disney. I'm a big Disney fan. I love Disney parks. Me and my girlfriend go all the time as it's closed now. But again, we'll reopen. I'm a huge, huge Disney fan. I love Epcot, Food and Wine Festival. It's my favorite. So again, when it comes to investing, guys, I've always said enjoy the home cooking. If you like, for example, Starbucks, my favorite drink is the berry hibiscus refresher. Love it to death. I get a venti. I'm an investor in Starbucks, man. What can I say? I love it. So Disney, I love Disney parks. Guess what? I'm gonna buy some Disney stock. It's just the way I do things. I have AT&T as my cell phone service. I invest in AT&T stock. That's kind of a beginner thing. I tell people all the time. Best of what you know. What's a good entry point for Apple? Should I get shares now? Current price? Justin, I'm gonna ask you this question. Do you want a dollar or do you want 4 quarters? It really doesn't make a difference. You can get it now. You can wait for the split. Waiting for the split doesn't do anything. So again, 4 quarters or a dollar, your pick. What AMD calls do I have open? I personally have the 100 calls for August. Let me see here. August, blah, blah, blah. August 21, the 100 calls. And I'm down like 50% on them. That's what I have personally. I think a break of 87, I'll probably take a look at another call. Nice. What do you think about 10 cent holdings? Tencent is actually down 8% overnight. I don't invest in them, so I have no idea. No idea. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and end it there. Thank you so much for your time today. Morning note. As always, we do this at 9 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. And we'll catch you guys on Monday for the next morning note. Let's see what the market has to give us. Happy profiting, and we'll catch you on Monday. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Make sure, bottom right-hand corner, like and subscribe to our videos, and make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. Remember, if we get 10,000 subscribers, I'll do a last minute reminder. We are at 4,269. Thank you so much for joining. 10,000 subscribers, I'll do another live trading session with you. Or if we get 100,000 100,000 Instagram followers, I'll go ahead and do a live stream. Or if we get 10,000 Twitter followers, I'll go and do a live stream. How about that? Great. All right, guys, have a good one. Cheers.